Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Wild Moments, proudly brought to you by explore.org. My name is Taylor, and of course, on the other side of the screen is my dear friend Kaylee. Kaylee, it's so great to have you.
You too. It's lovely to see you, Taylor. How are you doing? All good over there? Cool. Are you there, Taylor?
Enjoying sunny weather, supposed to be weather, not complaining. How's the weather in your?
It's just cooled down in the last 4 or 5 minutes. I'm being brave and trying to do a live outside broadcast from the sunny west coast of England. So anything could happen. We know the English weather.
No, I do. I was just looking at the clouds looming in the background, and I thought, you're quite brave.
It was blinding sunshine 5 minutes ago. But who knows? Who knows? Let's keep it exciting.
I suppose rain is not a bad thing. The ground is desperately quenching, well, it needs to quench its thirst. But it's obviously very exciting to have you all here. And I must just apologize up front. Most of you know I live in the safari capital of South Africa, but unfortunately the internet is not playing ball today. So I might come and go, but Kelly will just, of course, take on over. So yes, I'm very much sorry for that, but we'll wait for a couple of hellos to see who is around. And if you're wondering, how do you say hello? Well, this is a live and interactive show. So you're welcome to chat to us. And in fact, we encourage you to all chat to us. So please send through, where you're from, what you're drinking, or maybe you've got a snack accompanying you today. So we'll just wait for all of that. But I think Kaylee is going to be telling us all those wonderful things.
We do. We've already got lots of hellos through. We've got Zygo. Hi, Taylor McCurdy and Kelly. Namaste. Namaste. Back to you. Karu. Hi, Karu. Rolling Trouble says, hi, Taylor and Kelly from Washington with coffee and water. Good combo. Stay hydrated. April Owl. Good morning, everyone from a rainy Connecticut. Have a cup of coffee and vanilla soya milk. Eagerly awaiting the show. Good choice. Andy waving hello from the cheap seat. Hello, Andy in the cheap seat. Stuck in bed. Great to see you, gorgeous girls. We like stuck in bed, Taylor. We must keep stuck in bed, I
think. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, that's so funny. And I know sometimes we have a few people that jump on and they say, so sorry, we're late. And I forgot to apologize for our lateness. But I suppose we should get started then, seeing as though we've got actually are. So if anyone else jumps on board and says hello, we'll greet you in a moment. But let's take a look at the first clip, which is a leopard on the prowl for a tasty treat. Okay, there's the leopard.
I love watching these because I also don't know what's going to happen.
I completely agree. It's always a surprise.
Look, that's
that enormous creature. So for those of you who have no idea what you just looked at, that is actually called a cane rat. Well, they normally live in family groups, so there's probably more than one around. And
have you ever seen a cane rat?
I have. The first time I ever saw a cane rat, I just started oh no, hang on, wait. Look how close the leopard is to the cane rat. I'll tell my stories just now. I think it's probably quite shocked as to why is this thing not moving.
Is that cane rat in that grass there?
I'm trying to figure out if it's, because I think I saw two, if I'm not mistaken. I had another tab open, so I missed a little bit. I think that dark object might be one, or it's on the left-hand side. We're going to see. Look at the bum wiggle that it's about to do. And the paw's getting ready, sort of about to pounce. Gosh, they just take their time, leopards, but I suppose you have to. It's obviously heard something else, but like I said, there might be a few more scurrying in the grass.
Oh, his attention's killing.
Do it. I know. No, shuffling around slightly, perhaps misjudged. There we go.
Oh,
Disturbed blacksmith helping by the sound. Oh, there go the baboons.
oh, everyone's upset now.
Yeah. Okay, there's the leopard. Did you not catch one? No. Oh, what a pity. It does look like a male leopard. Is it, Kelly? Does it look like a male? Yeah. I think I saw that. Sorry, Tim.
But
So
it
this
sounds
is
like that baboon sitting on the microphone.
Yeah, it does. We actually see the baboons here regularly, Kelly. They love to roost up in the trees along the Olifants River. So during the day, in the afternoons, we often watch them walking back to their favorite spots. But how epic was that? I mean, we all know, unfortunately, how unsuccessful the big cats are at catching their prey. So that male leopard was probably going to make many more attempts during the night. But Kelly, you asked me if I've ever seen a cane rat before. Now, they are enormous creatures. I don't even think I could
Apparently
show you
so.
how big they really are. And my first experience of ever seeing a cane rat, I was actually about to start working at Sabi Sabi in the Sabi Sand, and we were coming into Bush Lodge to do an induction, and it was kind of late in the afternoon. We stood out the car, grabbed a couple of things, and started walking towards the lodge. And the next minute, this female leopard burst out of the bushes onto the nice green manicured lawns and grabbed a cane rat. And they were grazing, and it caught one, and she kind of looked at us, and then off she went. And honestly,
welcome to your new home.
I was like, oh, well, okay, the Sabi Sand lives up to expectation. This was, I think it was back in like 2015, so it was quite a while ago. And then the other day, because I haven't seen cane rats since 2015, I was driving quite late at night. I was doing some conservation work, and I was heading home here in Hoedspruit, and you go over this little bridge, and the next minute I see these 4 massive creatures in the road. And at first I thought, were they cats, or were they perhaps even warthogs, making their way back late because warthogs roam the streets? And they weren't. They were cane rats. And I was so excited because I honestly didn't think that there'd be very many cane rats roaming the streets of Hoedspruit. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen one before?
That's very cool. No, I've never seen one. I think I've seen tracks, but I've never ever seen a cane rat. I've just seen a few more hellos come through. Sorry, Taylor. Aussie Jan too. Good afternoon. Coffee time. DNC, good morning from sunny Seattle. I've got my coffee and excited for the show. Grinning. Everybody's grinning. Cara's got milk. Amber CEO, happy Thursday to all. Bob from Kalamazoo. Hi, Taylor, and welcome back. Wow, finally got to see one. Rolling Trouble, tasty treat. Rolling Trouble also saw 2 cane rats in that clip. I think I also saw 2.
Oh, amazing. And it's funny that you say tasty treat, Rolling Trouble, because a lot of people that I've spoken to in South Africa, and I think you could probably take this to wherever cane rats occur, they say that they taste incredible when you cook them. So I've never come across a cane rat that somebody was, offering on a braai or a barbecue, but everybody raves about them. So I'm not going to say no. If I happen to come into the situation where someone's like, hey, do you want a piece of cane rat? I might be like, okay, sure. Let's
you
give
carry
it a bash.
on. Let me know. Let me know how you go.
I'll keep you posted, and then Kelly, when you eventually come back to South Africa, perhaps that can be your welcoming home. Cane rat on a barbecue.
Maybe. Oh, look, the sun's just come out in England again. Quick, someone take a photo.
Yeah, amazing. But I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope that leopard did manage to catch a meal as he continued prowling along the river's edge. Okay, but we're going to jump straight into another scene filled with action, but this time of the feathery kind. Wow, that's a big bird.
It is a big bird.
That is a martial eagle. It's quite easy to identify, especially when you look at the legs. You can see they've got all those little brown spots on the white legs, and that extends up to the chest. Okay.
What's it doing?
What have you?
Oh, no.
Has it caught something? It must have.
I can't.
It looks like it's trying to take off. I think I just saw something in its talons. Oh, here's an open patch. It has got something. It's got a relatively short tail. I think this might be another cane rat, because this is in exactly the same area. the same
Huh.
camera, if I'm not mistaken, that we just watched the leopard on, just obviously a slightly different view, and it's daytime. Well
I'm really
done to you,
glad no one
Marshall.
can see me. I'm glad no one can see me when we're watching these clips because I sort of peer and I go really close to the screen. I've got the screen almost on my nose.
Absolutely. Occasionally I get caught out with when you cut after the clip back to me and my face is still right in the camera.
Yeah.
That's an awesome meal for a martial eagle, although not the biggest meal. They're obviously capable of bringing down, I mean, from a steenbok to a young impala, probably even a daker, but a nice, tasty snack. So that's pretty epic. So leopard missed, and this seems like the martial eagle
Unlucky
took
cane
one
rat.
down. Yeah, that's not even a big cane rat either. That I think that might be a sub-adult because they get about double that size. They really are
Wow.
enormous. They kind of remind me of miniature capybaras, if that kind of makes sense. So not quite as large as them, but they're very similar looking. Well, I mean, slightly different. Maybe if you
I used to
squint, they're
know
similar.
someone with a nickname of cane rat because I think it's either Shangaan or Zulu is Vundu. I think is cane rat.
Vundu.
Vundu, I
Okay.
think. I'm
Well,
not sure. I can't remember if it's Shangaan or Zulu. Welcome to correct me. But cane rats, they live in the bush, and I used to work with someone whose nickname was Vundu because he spent all his time in the bushes and in the undergrowth and stuff.
That is amazing. I also know that a vundu is a type of catfish that you find in the
Huh.
waters outside of South Africa. So, like in Zambia, they're enormous. I think they're one
Okay.
of the largest catfish species as well. But
Hmm.
vundu, I suppose, Kelly, you and I could also obtain the nicknames vundu, maybe in our earlier years of
Quite
guiding.
possibly.
While we don't
Quite
spend as
possibly.
much time in
Oh,
Oh, well,
JJ,
that was
JJ's just asked here. Why didn't the eagle fly away with it? JJ, I'm not sure. Probably could have taken off. Let's have a look again. Maybe it was still, maybe it was still not dead, or um,
I
it looks
wonder
like
if it's
it's
got
stuck.
Yeah, it could have. I think maybe you're right in saying it. Maybe it's potentially not dead. But I wonder if the dense canopy of trees, there's jackalberries and all sorts of things that are lining where it's climbing up the steep embankment. And I wonder
Mm,
if the river on the other side is a bit off-putting to try and take off. The last thing you'd want to do is end up in that water. And maybe it's just a nice place to eat it there. It's
yeah,
not out in the open. It's got quite a bit of cover. So maybe heading to a more comfortable spot. I can't see any movement in the tail now, but I'm also now squinting at the screen. Now, I suppose it also just depends on how it killed the cane rat. Did it do what they do best and fly from a high distance and propel down on
mm,
top of them? I suppose it's like a car driving into another one at a top speed. And they quite often break necks and spines and things like that. But then, of course, it also could have used its sharp talons to crash down on it, and then, of course, using its beak too. But interesting. I just think that's amazing. What a coincidence to have two sightings in a fairly close proximity to one another, and two different species hunting most likely the same family of cane rats, which is
I think
really
they've just said, I
interesting.
think someone has just said they think it might be the same cane rat family. Not a good day for that
Oh,
family.
cool. Yeah, not a good day, unfortunately not. But it seems as though
Makes
it was
sense.
definitely the time for one of the cane rats to go.
Mm.
Okay, now we're going to head into our third clip to have a look at something unusual. And I don't think I've ever seen a baboon with with dentures like this one. Not dentures, teeth. Sorry. Oh, it's a vampire chakra baboon.
Ah,
That
does he
that
need
is
to blow his
unfortunate.
nose as well?
You think so? He looks like he's got to go visit the dentist and the doctor at the same time. Oh, not the doctor, the vet. I'm on a roll today. Sorry. Haley, have you ever seen any wild animals with buck teeth before,
Not
or an
with buck
overbite?
teeth. I- I've seen lions with teeth knocked out and dangling around from their mouth.
Are you?
But I've never seen it. Um, but had a couple of dogs with overbites that seemed to do absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But this is obviously a big, healthy, by the looks of it, baboon, and seems to be managing fine with it.
Absolutely. I don't think I suppose in this baboon's case, it's a bit difficult to see how severe it is. It'd be amazing if it did the phlegm and grimace. So we'd really be able to see. But as far as I understand, a lot of the time when you get the overbite like this in buck teeth, it's really just down to genetics. It's something that's typically passed on down. But maybe it could have come from wearing its teeth down, but I find that highly unlikely. We see it in dogs a lot, like you said. And I know,
Yep.
obviously, people that do breed dogs, if they do get dogs with overbites or underbites, they typically try not to breed with that individual again.
Yep.
So it must have something to do with genetics. But I don't think it would really affect the baboon at all. I'm sure it's still able to grind down with its molars. And I mean, I think it actually looks more fierce than a typical
Yeah, I
chukka
think it looks
baboon with
terrifying.
the vampire.
I see Tim said could be quite an old baboon. Maybe Tim,
Yeah.
that could be an older baboon. But if you see, it always fascinates me. There's still a semi-leucistic kudu around in part of the Kruger, and if an animal makes it to adulthood with a defect, or what might be considered a defect, if they're an adult, it hasn't affected them because otherwise they
Absolutely.
just wouldn't make it. So the fact this baboon could well be quite old, maybe it's even helped. I wonder if there could be any benefits
Yeah.
to having buck teeth.
Yeah, I wonder. It's quite interesting. Like I said, and I can't say I've ever seen a wild animal with teeth like that. But to be fair, I suppose they don't open their mouth all the time. You'd think maybe with predators and that type of thing, warning regularly. But definitely going to keep an eye out for that individual. Kelly, maybe we'll have to go do a drive along the Olifants River and see if we can
I
co-find
think
it.
that's all over that. I'm all over that, Taylor. Maybe
Yeah.
I see Jade has just said, why was he alone? Maybe he wasn't. He was the only one in that clip. Could have been outcast, but maybe the other baboons just weren't in that shot. Yeah, and Rolling Trouble also says, "Yep, looks fierce." I wouldn't mess with a baboon with or without buck teeth. I don't think. Are you all right, Taylor?
No,
Are you
me neither.
having are you
So
having a
the
fly issue?
flies. Yeah, the flies are really bothering me, and I cannot believe that at this time of the year there is still such a high population of flies. It's actually ridiculous, and they are everywhere. And I need to get about 45 chameleons to put in this house so that they actually leave me alone. Okay, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but we definitely have time for the last clip, which is an elephant bull spending a bit of time with species of another kind. Oh. Hello, little elephant, or young elephant. Oh, standing nice and tall with his ears out. I think he means business. And the buffalo don't really seem too perturbed at all.
No, not even slightly.
I think this is between elephants when they're really young and called calves to about, this sort of sub-adult age, if you will. It's my favorite because they just constantly are testing their strength towards anything. I mean, from, of course, vehicles to other animals and sometimes even trees. So this youngster's playing the fool a little bit, maybe trying to make himself feel a bit better. And I wouldn't mess too much with a big buffalo bull, though, at that size.
No, also he's just testing himself, isn't he? Like a
Mm-hmm.
14-year-old boy, just seeing what he can get away with, and the buffalo are like, yeah, okay, that's enough now.
Oh, it's a beautiful reflection on the water. There's also some other little eyes peering away in the grass, but I have no idea what those are. Of course, I've got distracted now. Maybe a scrub hare. Okay, little boy. Is it a young male or is it maybe a cow? I'm just trying to look. I didn't see very well. Here's me turning my head
He's having a
sideways, trying to
blast.
between the legs. Ah, it's a female. That almost explains the behavior a little bit more. I think that looks like just from the rear view there. Do you agree, Kelly? Look, I think it might
I
be a
think you're
young
right.
female. And also very interesting because I think at this age, when, those hormones are really just coursing through their veins, coming maybe into their first reproductive cycle. And we saw it with an elephant that I affectionately dubbed Susan. And for about a couple of months or so, how she would just torment everyone, but specifically me. And then all of a sudden, she was showing interest in the bulls, and she disappeared for a while. And she came back, and then she was completely relaxed. So they tend to have a lot of temper tantrums. I mean, just think of a 14, 15, 16-year-old, a young girl. I mean, I think we can all speak from
For
experience.
sure.
It can be like. Definitely cannot regulate our emotions. And I wonder if that's what's going on here, because it's not like there's any pressure or fighting over resources. And it's interesting that she's on her own too. Again, the herd might be close by, but maybe that's also adding to her behaviors, that she's on her own. She just thinks she needs to be a little bit more on the defensive side.
No, for sure. But no, she was holding her own quite well. But yeah, Buffalo looked pretty unconcerned.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that was quite an interesting clip to see. It was really exciting this time round. Sometimes we obviously have quiet moments, but it was really amazing to see the different interspecies interactions, which I know is a firm favorite between everybody.
Stuck in bed just said they miss Susan. I don't think Taylor misses Susan.
I do actually miss Susan. I just think because the interactions that I had with that elephant car, I don't think I'm ever going to get them again. So I find myself very lucky that I was able to, for about 6 months, probably even a bit longer, to see the same breeding herd of elephants almost every single day. I mean, that's unheard of, other than if you're in a closed ecosystem reserve. So those moments I will cherish forever. I just wish my phone hadn't crashed, because I lost so much video footage. All those fond memories. But anyways, maybe we'll meet again Sunday. Sunday. I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
It's all those flies, I think, Taylor.
Probably. Wonderful. Are there any more questions?
No, I think we've got lots of comments on the very cute, cheeky elephant. Really nice to see them. And someone said, Zygo also said, looks like the teeth were borrowed from a leopard on that baboon. Possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, some mysteries will remain mysteries in the bush, and that's what makes it so exciting. But that's all the time we have for you today. Be sure to tune in on a Tuesday, and then again next week, Thursday, for more animal madness. But from myself and Kelly, it was great having you all here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.